Hello, everyone, and welcome to week 30. Can you believe it? A spotlight on what's next 2026, from adaptive intelligence to anticipatory leadership shaping the future before it arrives. Over the past 10 weeks, we followed a deliberate leadership evolution. And now we arrive at the next defining leadership question. Once organizations can continuously sense, learn, connect, and adapt, how do they begin shaping the future before it unfolds? Because in 2026, adaptability is becoming expected, intelligence is becoming democratized, AI is becoming ubiquitous, and data is becoming abundant. So the next competitive advantage will belong to organizations that practice anticipatory leadership. The emerging leadership reality is that the future is becoming a leadership discipline. For decades, strategy has been built on historical performance. Leaders analyzed what happened last quarter, adjusted plans, and reacted to changing conditions. But that model is no longer sufficient. Today's organizations operate in an environment where AI evolves weekly, regulations shift rapidly, customer expectations change continuously, geopolitical events reshape markets overnight, and entirely new business models emerge in months rather than years. The question is no longer what happened, nor is it what is happening. The defining question has become what is likely to happen next, and how do we prepare before everyone else? Organizations that consistently answer that question will increasingly shape their industries instead of reacting to them. The leadership shift that we are undergoing is that leaders were rewarded for solving today's problems, but tomorrow's leaders will be rewarded for preventing tomorrow's problems and creating tomorrow's opportunities. Anticipatory leadership is the disciplined practice of combining strategic foresight, systems thinking, scenario planning, AI-enabled intelligence, continuous learning, trusted data, and human judgment to make better decisions before circumstances demand them. Technology may reveal possibilities, but leadership decides which future to build. So there are 4 anticipatory leadership moves. First, scan beyond your industry. Many of tomorrow's disruptions begin somewhere else. Monitor technological advances, demographic shifts, public policy, education, research, environmental trends, and global innovation ecosystems, because the future rarely arrives all at once. It arrives as weak signals that most organizations overlook. Bold move number 2, build multiple futures. Instead of planning for one future, prepare for several plausible futures. Ask yourself, what if AI adoption accelerates faster than expected? What if regulations become more restrictive? What if customer expectations fundamentally change? What opportunities emerge under each scenario? Organizations with options respond faster than organizations with assumptions. Bold move number 3, develop future capabilities before they're needed. Waiting until a capability becomes urgent is often way too late in the game. Invest continuously in AI literacy, leadership development, workforce reskilling, digital trust, knowledge management, and cross-functional collaboration. Tomorrow's strengths are built long before tomorrow arrives. And last but not least, bold move number 4, make foresight part of every decision. Every major decision should include one additional question. How might this decision position us 3 to 5 years from now? When foresight becomes part of everyday leadership, organizations move from reactive to creating. Why does this matter so much now? It's because the organizations that lead the next decade won't necessarily have the largest budgets, the most employees, or even the most advanced AI. They will possess something far more valuable. They will constantly and consistently recognize change before others do, prepare before competitors act, and build capabilities before markets demand them. In an increasingly uncertain world, the greatest competitive advantage is not predicting the future perfectly, it is preparing for it intentionally. So our week 30 reflection is to ask yourself, what future are we assuming instead of exploring? Which weak signals deserve more attention? What capability will our organization wish it had 3 years from now? Are we investing enough in tomorrow while executing today? And if the future arrived faster than expected, would we be ready? These are not planning questions. They are anticipatory leadership questions. So our week 30 challenge is just to choose one major initiative your organization is pursuing. Now imagine it's 2029. What change did you not anticipate? What capabilities proved essential? What assumptions turned out to be wrong? And identify one action you can take this week that better prepares your organization for that future. Because the future isn't something simply we inherit, it is something we intentionally build. So, in closing thoughts, trust builds confidence, learning builds capability, adaptive intelligence builds resilience, well, but anticipatory leadership builds tomorrow before tomorrow even arrives. In the leadership environment of 2026, the organizations that define the future will not simply respond to change, they will recognize it early, prepare deliberately, and shape what comes next.